Music? Yeah? Okay. All right. And there's a little, whatchamacallit, um, over to the left, you'll see by the pause, there's a unmute um, on the screen. It's so that's the whatchamacallit. So if you're hearing it,
Yeah, you see, I know I'm a vibe. She find a way to love me even though I'm not her type. Purple, orange, pink clouds float way up high. A lot of y'all depressed, you don't even know why. I'm just trying to live my way. I don't have to put it in my bio. A lot of y'all throw smoke from the shade, and most of y'all are motherfuckers I know. Come on, 5, 6, you gotta do it like this. 7, 8, I've been dancing since I was 6. Every kid on the block that's ticking its talk. I've been posting these gems, they've been giving you rocks. I've been fooled once or twice. Not everyone that loves you really gives you good advice. I think that it's nice that they try, but I find I'd rather follow signs from the dreams in my mind. Yeah. I've been fooled once or twice. The girl you think is flirting is just being really nice. It's cool, but it's like I've been getting confused, no clothes and no likes, but she follows me twice. Nice. Sometimes I gotta treat people like they're phone companies. I never believe what they say. Okay, you know when they tell you they have a deal, deep down it's not real, and yet you still pay. Come on, 5, 6, you got.
everybody, welcome. It is your boy Rico no Suave, and welcome back to another episode. You know what? Another TV show. You know, another talk show of the Rico no Suave show. I am super happy that you guys are actually here with us today. Oh man, let's go. Let's super go. I'm super happy, man. It's hey, I have to say, it's always good to actually see you guys here as far as with us. And, I want you guys to make sure you go ahead and ask questions. Make sure you just enjoy yourselves because we got a fun-filled show as far as for you guys today. And let's get it on. It's story time, everybody. This is story time. And when I tell you about story time, this one right here is a lot of inspiration. And it inspired me to get, to continue to do what I'm doing. So, real quick and easy, I had a call with the business owner, and it was kind of like a customer service rep, and they wanted to actually get me to start an online business. And when I wanted to start this online business, this business was more of, it was kind of, how can I say it? It was almost as if they wanted me to start a business with their trust. And then when it came down to going into finding out more information about the business, it was very interesting how they took it upon themselves to automatically say that I should trust them with their online business. So one thing that came into play of when I started going through the situation of understanding, the person was kind of aggressive. And it was like they were so aggressive that it almost felt like it was a scam. And when you feel that way about, hey, well, what is it in detail? Oh, well, you have to talk to our director. Our director will be able to tell you everything that you actually need to know. And I was like, okay, well, why are you in front of the director right now? Because I want to make sure that you're serious about this. I said, well, I wouldn't have set up a time just to be able to see if I'm serious about an online business, to be able to, it's like hustling, being able to get more money. So what happens? The person continued to talk and talk and talk before they say, hey, well, we need to make sure that you're very serious about this before we make this next step. I said, okay, this is like the fifth or sixth time that you actually said that. So you know what it comes down to, everyone? This person came and said, hey, our business is going to make, how much money do you think you'll be able to make with your business? So I gave him a number in regards to what I'm doing right now. And when I heard that, I was like, hey, so why are we talking about my business as far as what I do as a talk show host? And, I also have a cooking show. What about your business? Is it going to guarantee me money? It's like, yes, it's going to guarantee you money all the way through. I was like, well, how much? Well, they gave me a big figure. It's like, oh, wow, within a year I can make that much. It's like, yes. I said, okay. I said, well, I'm serious about making extra money. Why not? Who wouldn't if you're an entrepreneur? So he came back to my talk show and said, hey, well, if your talk show doesn't make you that much money, then why are you doing it? I said, well, because I love what I do. I love what I have. And why not? So why not do something that I love to do to be able to become famous or to become big someday? Well, if you do this right now, then you won't have to worry about being famous because you're going to automatically make money. I said, well, what if I want to make that money and put that within my business? Well, that's not going to work. That's why we want to go through this process of you being able to talk to the director. So I was like, well, what if I talk to the director and maybe it's not what I want? So they said, well, here's what you need to do. This is how much money you need to invest in your online business. And then when they told me how much it was, I was like, you're asking me to invest into an online business that's online, where it's just a website, a domain, and then you have products. How much is it going to actually cost for something like that? So they gave me a figure and it was way over the budget. And I was like, way over the budget. I wasn't even expecting that. So I was like, nah. I said, well, you sound like you were serious. You act like you wanted to do this. So why didn't you do it? The guy got aggressive. So I said, well, first of all, I'm an entrepreneur. Any entrepreneur. And then he cut me off and he says, you're not an entrepreneur. I said, wow. I'm not an entrepreneur. I said, well, I have 3 businesses. So if I have an LLC, if I have all of these, he said, yeah, you're not an entrepreneur unless you do this. So I was like, so what you're saying is my talk show is I'm not an entrepreneur. He's like, no, you're not unless you do this. I said, sir, you got kind of personal. And I'm not going to say his name, but he was very aggressive. And I said, this just gives me a little bit more, more like oomph to keep doing what I do. Because I told him, I said, I can make it in this business of being a talk show host and make more money than what you're telling me how much I can actually make with your business. So he got frustrated and he hung up on me. And I looked up to the sky and I said, you know what? That was the reason. That was the reason why this actually happened. So, of course, I had to tell you, everyone, this is because when someone tries to push your buttons and tell you that you can't do something and you need to come with me and do this, why can't you do both? As an entrepreneur, we're about the hustle. We're about making sure that we try and make every ends meet as much as we can. But at the same time, too, it just didn't work out. And the person got frustrated. But also, I think it was a scam. Because they wanted to use a credit card in order for me to pay for that amount of money. And then they didn't know. They said, well, you'll start making money in 3 months. I'm like, yeah. I said, well, I'm not going to take that chance. Have a great day. He hung up on me before that and got really mad. So I looked up again. I said, thank you. I appreciate this. Thank you so much for actually having. So my inspiration is telling you guys that I will never stop doing this talk show thing because it tells me exactly how far I can actually go. And also my talent will take me to the next level. And I think because of someone that wants to scam you or tell you that you're not going to be able to make that and say you'll never be able to make that, just gives me a little bit more oomph, a little more ammunition, ambition to be able to continue being that great talk show host for everybody. That was my story time, everybody. That's my story time, and I'm sticking to it. Yes. All right. I got to introduce this gentleman here. You know, I actually had him on one of my other shows as well, too. Big shout out to Heart of Hollywood magazine. You know, they're doing great things in Hollywood. When I had him on my show, and he actually had me on his show before as well, too. But this gentleman is such an inspiration as far as to the world. He's a big-time talk show host, and I'm so happy to be able to go head-to-head with him today because he's doing a lot of great things. And check him out, of course, on E360. But he's also talking to people out there, and he's coming from New Jersey in the house. I want you guys to please stand up, put your hand to your heart, and show him some love. It's my man, Daniel Ecehvarria. Let's go from the weekly dose of Dano. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Rico, man, thank you so much for having me on today. And to everybody watching, thank you for tuning in. And make sure you show Rico some love. Go follow him on all his social media platforms and everything that he does. And Rico, there's two things that I want to say, actually, to your story. I'm going to let you ask me, or if you want, I could just jump in right now because I'll make it quick, I promise.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
All right. Cool. So to everybody watching, there's two things I want to say. Number one, Rico, like you said, I always got to throw in my dose of positivity. And when we heard that story, it struck two chords with me. Number one, as we all know, I like to follow a thing called first mind, second thought. So really your first mind is your intuition, and I believe that is connected to the higher power, right? So
yes,
when you have a hunch or an intuition about something, that's what you should always follow with, right? And I'll give you an example that everybody knows about is when you're taking a test in school, right? And you put your first answer if you don't know what the question is, but you have a hunch. When you say, on second thought, let me change the answer, that's when we tend to get things wrong. So
yes.
Like you said, you just had a hunch that it was not for you, which is great that you have that. And then the second thing I want to say is that actually kind of happened to me, not really, but the premise is still the same. When I first started Weekly Dose of Dano TV, my first guest ever that I reached out to told me that I didn't really have a television show. Just like the guy said you weren't really an entrepreneur, the guy said that I didn't really have a television show, that it was fake, it's not big enough. And to everybody out there, just use that as positive fuel. Really define it, what you want to put it to, and use it as positive fuel to achieve your dreams.
Man, you know, it's about to get, hey, bro, we about to get it in. Because I'm fired up because of that. You know, I'm fired up because we know exactly from talk show to talk show host, you know how we are when it comes to being organized and how we actually look at our future, right? We look at it from a future standpoint. We also take our past, what we learned, and we use our future moving forward. You know, Dano, when I tell you, man, when I felt that and I was like, listen, this is not going to work because I had to catch him. I had to troubleshoot the humans, man. And I was like, listen, when I had to troubleshoot him, I knew right then and there. As soon as he said that number, he stayed quiet, and I knew that I got him because his director was listening in, and then they tried to change the number in order for me to be able to go with them. I was like, yeah, I said, I think I'm good. I was like, it's not going to work at all.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Was it a multi-level marketing thing or a crypto thing?
No. This was more of like an online product business type deal.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was an online product saying that you can get multiple websites, use multiple websites, and to be able to sell products online and kind of that retail market. That's what they say. I'm like, it doesn't take you that much as far as to build an online business of products unless you're buying products and you need to ship them from somewhere. But that wasn't even the case. So, you know, needless to say, it was definitely a scam. And I think that's where we come into play of finding out of what people are trying to do to us in order for them to make more money off of us. So
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You know, the great thing about that too, and for everybody watching and listening, is that you use these experiences to see what you don't want in life, right? And then
Right.
when we figure out what we don't want, we can start to hone more on what we do want. Like you, Rico, just
That's right.
worry or focus on your future and really building something worthwhile that is leaving legacy and to
Yes, sir.
inspire others. Which I'm in the same boat, so I commend
Yes.
you, man. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate you, man. But let's get to you, man, because you're on the show. You're on the Rico No Suave show. So, my man Dano, hey, let's talk about real quick in regards to how you grew up, where you grew up at, and what was it like, growing up as far as in the times that you've, in the streets of New Jersey.
Yeah, definitely. So, I grew up in Camden, New Jersey, and when I tell you this was the most dangerous city that you could grow up in, even there's been, I think, in my first 13 years, up until I was 13, we ranked fourth in most dangerous city and highest crime rate. So 4 out of those 13 years, it wasn't very easy. You know, there was a lot of crime and drugs and gang that were going on in the surrounding areas, but right, literally on the corner of my block. So it really wasn't easy, single mother household, raising me and my brother in the city of Camden, New Jersey, and it wasn't easy. We barely had two nickels to rub together growing up, but it's
Wow.
really all about how I looked at myself, and I had some great role models and leaders. So shout out to my mom and shout out to my brother, because without you guys, I wouldn't be here today. But growing up in Camden, New Jersey was very difficult. And I wouldn't trade it for the world, because it made me who I am today. And I've developed a lot of skills from being in the city of Camden, New Jersey. So growing up, like I said, wasn't easy, but it made me who I am today. And I wouldn't trade it for the world, because I learned a lot of skills about myself and just how to interact with people, and a lot of street smarts too when it comes to just my developmental stages. So yeah, it was very, very interesting growing
That's,
up in Camden, New
I
Jersey.
think when it comes down to you learning about the streets, it also helps understand as far as about the streets, what's good, what's bad, and also how to maintain yourself while you're in that environment to get yourself out of that environment, right?
Hmm.
Because I think, for yourself, when I was reading more about you, I think it's more of, there's drug and there's poverty and there's just things that we actually go through, or sometimes you might actually are in an area that you have to walk to school to be able to go through a bad area to get to your destination. We might be in an okay area, but I see for you, because you had your family behind you, which was awesome. You were able to actually get through it, get through it as well too. What was kind of the
Yeah.
things that, that kind of kept you understanding the routine of things, and then how did you change out of that routine of everyday life growing up?
Yeah, so that's a very great question. Thank you for bringing that up, because I got to see at a very young age what the power of our choices lead to. Obviously, if you're making the wrong decisions and the wrong choices, you see the end result. So, dying, ending up in jail, living a lifestyle of homelessness and things that you just don't want to entertain, or the things you don't want to live in your life. That's
Yeah.
what's going to happen if you don't take your life very seriously. So that's what I learned from that, and that's all I needed to change my routine. So I would,
Yeah.
would never say that I got into that. I mean, yes, I've been influenced and asked to join a gang and drugs and all that stuff. So I just
Yeah.
knew deep within me, when I see if I were to go down that path, where it would lead to. So that was the first thing. And like I said, now looking back on it, I'm so glad I have my support system as well to keep me in line and in order, because
Yeah.
it's not really about where you grow up. It's about what goes on inside of the household, right? Because
Yes,
I've
sir.
had guests and I've been in, situations or other people's homes where it can be the nicest and the richest areas. But if you don't have that self love, if you don't have that self confidence or that support system of
Yes.
people guiding you in the right direction, then it doesn't matter where you're at. You're ultimately going to lead or go down that path of negativity, of always looking to others for self worth and to give you that confidence boost. So it
Yeah.
was really a bunch of different things, but those are the two that come up off the top of my head.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I think from from that standpoint, I think it comes down to, of you understanding that lifestyle of, you know, where do I want to go and what do I want to be. But let's talk about the personality of Dano. The personality of Dano, where he is as far as right now, was Dano always have that personality when he was growing up in regards to, because you're a very lively person, right? Were you also lively when you were also at a younger age?
No, no, I was not. And I was always had like this a lot of energy,
Yeah,
but I realize now that it was my light shining through. I just didn't know how to control it
I see.
positively. So a lot of people will always say, "Oh, you need to calm down. You need to chill out. You're doing too much. Stop doing this." But I realize now that it was just me shining my light.
There you go.
So I was always positive, but I didn't know how to harness that energy to, use it for the power of manifestation
Yeah,
and to use it for the good power of influencing others and showing everybody that we are able to live whatever life it is that we want, no matter where we come from. So it took a lot of, ups and downs in order to get to where I am today.
yeah,
But no, I wasn't always this way. And that's what a lot of people, if you are going through that tough time,
yeah.
that is a benefit that you need to understand that you have, because you
Yes.
know what it's like to be in the dark. But if you make that conscious choice to really be in the light every day, you do have that ability to live life, everyday life. It's your last, like all of your dreams will come true. And I
Yes,
know it
sir.
sounds maybe corny or cliche or maybe too positive, which really isn't a thing.
Yeah.
But I'm here to tell you that even if you are going through those things, it is possible to live whatever kind of lifestyle that you want. And you do need to grow through those things in order to achieve it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's my guy. Everybody, if you don't know, I'm getting a weekly dose of Nano right now. That's what I do. On TV. That's what we're getting right now. Well, man, Dano, man, because and it's so cool because we're both talk show hosts, so I feel you when it comes to that energy, that ball of energy. And the family, my family, we're loud, man. We're a bundle, but I was not always like that. Like in school, like at home, yes, but when I went to school, I was this shy person. I was quiet. But when it was time when I was around my friends, I was kind of like, trying to, get my groove into being this shining light
Yeah.
until, until I got out on my own.
Yeah.
And
And, I want to. I kind of just want to add to that too, because like you
yeah,
said, you just rang a light bulb or a ding in my head.
yeah,
When you were doing those things, right? You were living for other people and
yep,
what they expected you to be, and then at that point, like you were saying, you started to live how you wanted to do it, and you took control of it. So yeah,
yeah.
it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, man, that's the way I felt because it's like you're living for other people and you really couldn't shine the way you wanted to, and then it was just I wanted to try to dance and all of that stuff, but some things my feet wouldn't let me do it because it was holding me back from being shy. But Dano, when it comes to you merging into the industry of media, what came to mind for you to be able to get into media and start to become that talk show host?
It was it kind of fell into my lap, if you want to call it that.
Sure.
I stopped going to college because I really didn't like it. I dropped out actually halfway through the semester, and I was just really miserable at that time. So this was the semester before the lockdowns and the COVID and everything happened. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, I made a pact with my mom and my brother. I was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do, but just give me some time to figure it out. If I don't figure anything out within a year, I'll go back to school and I'll figure it out that way. So I didn't kind of have a plan, like you said, to merge into media. It kind of just fell into my lap, and I was open in the receiving mode in order to receive that idea. So when I was looking at the social media stuff during those times of the lockdown, everything was doom and gloom. It was fear based, and I was like, you know what? That's not how I want to see the world, and I don't want the world to just be living in fear. I mean, at the time we didn't know what it was,
Right.
but we didn't. I think it was kind of blown out of proportion. But anyway, I wanted to be that difference in the world, and I wanted to be that light. So I just took it upon myself to record a few episodes of Daily Dose of Dano, that was back in the day,
Yeah, yeah,
and that
yeah.
was a positive news story about it. Featuring the first half of the segment would be how to about a positive news story, and then the second half would be how to live a happy, rewarding life. So then after that, Lawrence saw it. He's a producer on E360 as well. Said, hey, would you have your own talk show? And I said, not really, no. If I mess up, people are going to make fun of me. I don't know,
Right.
met that many people and all that stuff. So it kind of just fell into my lap. And then I just ran with it ever since because it really shows the creative side. I love doing it, as you already know, meeting all these great people,
Yes.
having so many great opportunities. So it fell into my lap.
You know, things fall into your lap as if it was food. We love it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when things fall into your lap and you feel that, hey, I love to talk to people. I love to make people laugh. I like to make people smile. I'm also serious about certain things that's in the world that we can talk about and go from there. And I think when looking at your show and also being on your show as well too, you're that type of host where you want people, and this is natural for you because you can definitely tell when someone is just trying to do their job versus to loving their job. And looking at your set and looking at the way that you bring your guest on and having a great time with them, you love to give them that dose of Dano, which is passion, which is love, which is honesty, which is also, sadness as well too when it needs to come around. And then it's just more of an overall show to be able to give them something that, that they can take and think about, but also they can laugh about, or they can actually say, I want to come back and get some more of that dose, right?
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's really good as far as for your show. So you're on E360 TV as well too, and as far as you growing this show, how long have you been having your show?
I believe we're coming up on 3 years or 3.5 years, somewhere in that area.
Perfect. 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 Yes. And of course, I got to ask this question because this is what happens when talk show hosts gets together when we first start a show. You know,
Oh
uh,
God.
the struggles, before we take a quick commercial break, when it comes to the show, what were some of the struggles with technology that you went through?
Oh my God. Rico, let me tell you, man, if you just go back like 10 episodes, I'm always, not always, because I don't want to claim that for myself, but I've had up to recently, technological issues and things that you really can't plan for. So
Yeah.
it's really all of these things that kind of teach you more about yourself, how you can handle situations, and how, if there's something that's going on, what we can do. I use that in every day in my life too. Like even this microphone, that's another thing too. Like this thing is fallen down so many times, and it stopped working like
I
20
know
minutes
it.
before we got on today, and
Yes.
it's just so many things that would take up the entire show trying to tell you all of the different things that have gone wrong. But we use it as things
Yeah.
to ways to teach and to learn more about ourselves. So
Yes.
I like to use it
Yes.
as positive fuel.
I had to call DJs to help me when I was struggling. I had to call some DJs and say, man, listen, my mixer, I don't know what's going on with my mixer. My mixer just doesn't want to act right. It doesn't want to act right. And then I'm like, what's
Yep.
going on with these microphones? Why is it not sounding the way we want to? And why is it choppy? And these are the things that we go through in order to try and say, can we please have a perfect show? Can we please make sure
Yeah,
everything goes
that's a good one. Perfect show.
Yeah, we pray for perfect shows. We pray for perfect shows every time we step on. So, Dano, I'm so happy that you're actually here, everybody. You already know it's my man, Daniel Ecehvarria. He's actually here with us, with your boy, Rico no Suave. I got to say some shout outs real quick before we go to commercial break. Janet Ramos, ¿cómo está? Bienvenido a the Rico no Suave show. Thank you so much for actually tuning in. We got John T for free coming in as well, too. What's up, Luis? We got Luis in here. Echevarria checking in. He said, let's go. Positive posse. Yes. Thank you so much for checking in. I think he's with you,
Yeah.
Dano. Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to the positivity posse. He already
Yes,
knows what it is.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Donna Marie Bird's checking in. Of course, she says, love everything that he is saying. Very inspiring and wise. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's much love, Donna Marie Bird. And then we got Beatrice. You know, Beatrice Davis is checking in with us. Hello, B. Thank you so much for checking in with us as well, too. John T for free. You know, it ain't always free, but it's John T. Thanks, John T, for checking in with us, and supporting the show like always. Everybody else, thank you guys so much. We love you. We're going to take a quick break, everybody. Coming up, we got my man, Marc Hoberman, that's going to be joining us. All right, we'll be back in 30 seconds. All right, everybody, it is me, your boy Rico No Suave. And yes, better communication. It's always about better communication when it's time for you to communicate as far as with your loved ones, or maybe on stage, you want to be an MC. You want to actually start doing some really big events, but you want to maybe talk on a stage or give presentations. The Rico No Suave show and Better Communications is actually giving you a 10% discount. My man, Marcus Velasquez, he's dope. He's dope. My man is awesome. He has this training at beabettercommunicator.com, and we're teaming up because, as an MC, as a talk show host, we want to make sure that we're better communicating as far as with you in the audience to make sure you are ready to go. So we want to share that love. We want to spread that love to you guys as well, too. So make sure if you're looking to improve your skills, start your training today. Online, become a better speaker, be a better communicator.com. Put in RNSS. You already know, Rico No Suave Show, and check out for the 10% discount. Just let them know Rico No Suave Show sent you. Let's get back to my man. Let's get back. All right, everybody. These two gentlemen has collaborated together. That's Dano over to the left, and of course, my man Marc Hoberman. Yes, it's always great success. He's an educator. He's also a talk show host as well, too. There's a lot of life stories with my man Marc Hoberman that you guys will definitely love, and you need to check out his show. But they're here right now together because they actually teamed up. As you can see, the power of choices, the key foundations of leadership. So I'm going to bring them on so we can actually start getting into what they have cooking. Let's get it on. Marc Hoberman and also my man Dano.
How's it going, Rico?
What's happening, gents? What's going on? How you guys doing?
Doing well. Hello, Dano.
Hello, Marc. I saw you earlier, but it's nice to see you again.
Always. What's good?
Hey, gentlemen, it's great to actually have you here on the Rico No Suave show. It's a dynamic duo, Dano and Marc. You guys are actually putting something together. You guys have a nice project that you guys are actually working on to be able to help, as far as the youth and also adults, as far as with leadership. On the education side, of course, we got you, Marc, and of course, the inspiration and the positivity posse, of course, with Dano. So tell us about how things are actually going. Tell us about the project for the audience to know.
Yeah, I met Dano actually through the shows, and we decided to put together something called the Power of Choices. And it's exactly what the name says. It's giving the choices to young teens, young adults, and we do leadership training, anti-bullying. As you know, I've been in education over 30 years. Not so impressed and a little concerned with what's going on lately, not just at the colleges, but with issues at schools, substance abuse, leadership problems, communication issues. So it's really time that the world saw someone who looks like me, the dynamic duo. I'm going to be Batman, and Dano working together And we just did something for the Police Athletic League in Delaware, and the kids really loved it. What a great group. And just really helping people to just tell a young person make the right choice is not nearly as helpful as explaining to them how they can make the correct choices.
Nice. Nice. I think when it comes down to leadership, gents, is that, to be able to become a leader, not everyone can become that leader, but if you're trained correctly, you can become that leader as well, too. So because you have that success or you have that drive to be able to become a leader in this industry, there's so many different types of leaders. Now, is there an industry that you focus on when it comes to leadership, or how does that work as far as what the project you guys are working on together?
Well, leadership is just one of the many programs is leadership, communication skills,
Okay.
Anti-bullying, substance abuse prevention.
Okay.
But we it's very hands-on. It's not cookie cutter. It's we could be at one school and then do another school 1 mile down the road, totally different program. And we're going to get into some corporate training too. But Dano can certainly speak on how the leadership went and how we really affected the kids and impacted the kids in a short amount of time. At the last program we did through the Police Athletic League, as I said, in Delaware.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was just so amazing to really see how the kids responded to us, because we were going in there where we didn't really, kind of have that relationship with the kids. But afterwards, we decided to work out with them. I actually played a little bit of basketball with them, and I actually schooled them. So we got to teach them a little bit off the court, and then I got to teach them on the court. But, a lot of the things that we do talk about kind of had the same qualities and characteristics. And whatever it is that we speak about through leadership, through leadership training or substance prevention, anti-bullying, they do have a lot of the same overlapping qualities. So, like I was mentioning earlier, you have to have that great self-confidence. You have to understand that when you make a decision at A, it's not just A and B. That decision is going to go from A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So we want to get those kids to really see. Rico, you just mentioned it too earlier about looking into the future, but it starts right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think because you guys are working with the future and you're doing things for the future, your legacy is there. Your legacy is starting to build off of something where they're going to basically, I say, handle and maintain your legacy of what you're giving them in regards to leadership. You did bring up something that was that I actually spoke with a young lady that was on my show when it came to anti-bullying. Anti-bullying, of course, has been going on for many years, but it's been actually, of course, hitting it even more, even with social media, when it comes to anti-bullying as well. Now, when we're talking about anti-bullying, or we're talking about that whole piece of how to handle that, are we also talking about anti-bullying with adults, or just more so on the youth?
It's unfortunately a cultural thing, and quite honestly, I've seen students bully teachers. So I've seen campers that are 8 years old bully counselors who are 19 and play football. So it's really, when we talk about, and Dano and I have discussed this so many times, when we do anti-bullying, let's say, even in a corporation, same thing. This is the same bully he was when he's 11. He's just 45, a little bit bigger belly, and a little more power. So, it's a community thing. It intersperses itself everywhere. But like you said, social media changed the game, and not in a good way.
Right.
So, what we do is very interactive, but very, very powerful, because, look, I was an educator for 30 years. I don't believe in just academic education. The lack of character education, which is what we do, changes a school culture, and it doesn't take 3 months or 3 years to do it. So that's the important part, I think.
Yeah, and also I just want to add to that very quickly is that, these schools are designed to teach to the test, right? Their focus is only to get them to the next grade, to prepare them for college, or, those are really the main things. It might sway here and there depending on the school, but where we come in is we are going to teach them the soft skills or the intangibles that they need. It's not about a test. It's about how to survive in life and how to pass the test of life. So while they're teaching them that, we come in and we teach them all the things that they may need to know. Obviously, it can't be everything in such a small amount of time, but just everything that they need in order to ensure their success outside of the classroom.
Yeah, I really like that because I know because of, being in that classroom environment, but also knowing that you have them all in a group. And then you can actually see the way their faces are and what they're
Oh yeah.
thinking and how you're teaching them. And, some that might be, involved. One of the things that, and not to, I'm not trying to talk about the flyer that I was talking about, the promotion piece, but part of the communication as far as understanding the body language of anyone to understand if they're really into it or they're not. When it comes to you guys going out to the schools itself, the character of what you're seeing and the feedback of what you're seeing out there, were there any times where there was kind of like a person that really didn't feel like they were into it and then all of a sudden it changed around when you hit them with that one word or you hit them with that one sentence that made their eyes like brighten up in regards to what you guys are talking about?
That is so funny because Dano and I experienced this together. You said, was there a person? We wish. We wish there was only a person who wasn't buying it. Remember, when we first go in, and we'll do virtual too, but there's nothing like in person. But
Yeah.
when you go in, they test you faster than any adult, any principal could ever test you. They know within 30 seconds, are these guys the real deal or are they here to waste our time? So we did a couple of fun things, always debriefing, explaining how important it is in their lives, as Dano said, so they can make those right choices from A, B, C, D, E, F. But they're youngsters. They're walking in ready to be bored. It's our job in the first 30 seconds to say, if you came to be bored, you came to the wrong place.
Right.
So, we have to go in and prove ourselves right away. And there's no tougher audience than young people because they smell the BS a mile away.
Yeah.
And it's not always body language as well. So what we do with our programs is after we complete everything and we do all the trainings, we have a student survey that they're able to fill out to leave their honest opinion. They don't have the names on the sheet, but they can just fill out to say, was it satisfactory? Did this help me going forward? And that's another way that we keep ourselves accountable. So like you said, Rico, it's not always with the things that you don't see or the body language. We also have it in your face to let us know to say, all right, this is what we need to change. This is how we can improve it to make sure everybody has a great experience.
Yep.
That's great, man. That's great. Got a few more minutes. Guys, we'll talk all day, in regards to how leadership is and how you guys have actually built this. So where are you seeing as far as with this collaboration, this dynamic dual collaboration that you guys have, where are you seeing this actually growing as far as, is this going international? Is it just staying here nationally? Where do you guys see, this project going for you guys?
Our sweet spot is middle school all the way up through college. So
Okay.
we really are enjoying the ride, and it's going to go where it takes us. It's our job to make sure people know we can affect change. So wherever people want, they're going to take us. We're not going to take us. So, we have open minds. And my God, if I have one more minute with Dano, I'm going to be the most positive person in the world. First, I thought, this guy is crazy. He's so positive. Then the fourth time I worked with him and talked to him, I said, boy, I'm a negative person. So I've come full circle. I just love the vibe between the two of us. Although we have similar shows, we run it differently. When we present, it's the same message, but delivered differently, different ages, different ethnic backgrounds. So quite honestly, selfishly, we're having as much fun as the kids are, but it's going to be international also. We do have some hooks and some people in London and whatnot. So we're just ready to hit the ground running.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. I mean, congrats to you both on this collaboration itself. I mean, when I think about leadership, of course, as we're all talk show hosts, we're here to lead in positive ways. We're here to turn negativity into positivity, but also focus on the negativity to know that we're learning lessons as we go. But you guys are doing that continuously online as well as in person. So, with these programs that you guys actually have, are you developing, last question, are you guys continuously developing like different programs as far as for the different grades, or is it kind of like a certain amount just for the program starting right now?
So it really, like Marc said earlier, it's not cookie cutter. So what we do is before we even step into a school or an organization or a camp or whoever it is that we're presenting, we will go see what their needs are, really
Okay.
discuss how we can make that change. And we're working
Okay.
with the schools directly to see what their needs are. So it's really tailored to it. So it's not just about, doing the same thing over and over for each school and then
Sure.
expecting the same result.
Sure.
It's really about tailoring our packages or tailoring our programs to everything that they might need to help ease their community, to help ease their students, their faculty, maybe even the parents, and everybody that just needs it. So it's not just one size fits all.
So that's cool. I like that because it helps customize, everything as far as for what you guys do. And it also keeps a lot of the repertoire in the back end, in regards to however you customize that. You have it documented, you have it noted, because somebody else might run into that same type of style. Like, yeah, y'all both look at each other like, yeah, we've been through this before, So that's awesome. That's awesome. Any final words that you want the audience to know? So if they wanted to get in contact with you guys, how do they get in contact with you, from a school level to be able to get involved with the program?
Yeah, two main ways. One is thepowerofchoices.com.
Okay.
And again, thepowerofchoices.com, that's the website. And info@thepowerofchoices.com is the email address. And I just want to piggyback real quickly on what Dano said is it really comes full circle. So not only are the surveys important, but they don't just call us and say, we're having a bullying problem, come in Tuesday at 9. We get on the phone with the shareholders, the stakeholders in that school community, and we want to know what's going on there. What are the kids telling you are the problems? And we kind of do surveys there to find out, because they're like snowflakes and fingerprints. No two schools are alike. No two grades are alike in the same school. So we find that exciting too, because it takes the boredom out of it. There's no monotony. It's all new stuff.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, man, congratulations to you both in regards to the power of choices. Marc Hoberman, thank you so much for jumping in and showing your love as far as on the show, the Rico No Suave show. And just, it's always great to see you. It's always good to see some great work that you're actually doing for the world in general. But keep on shining, keep doing your great things that you're always doing. And then, you're gonna have to check in. I'm gonna have to check in with you again, probably in the future, to see how everything is actually going on your journey.
We love that. And thank you so much for having me, Rico. I love your show, love what you're doing. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you. Everybody, that's Marc Hoberman. Let's get it on, because you know why? It's NASCAR time, everybody. It is NASCAR time. And yes, NASCAR, baby. Whew. What I have to say about NASCAR is that, we love to get involved as far as with NASCAR. And, everything about NASCAR, if you love race cars, I do too. But this one right here, there's always something of a Hall of Fame for basketball, football, hockey, baseball, and different sports of Hall of Fame. But then, there's the Hall of Fame, excuse me, for racing, NASCAR. Excuse me. So for 2025, the class of, 2025 itself, we got Greg Bifo, Randy Dorton, and Jack Sprague, new nominees for the class of 2025. So the Hall of Fame is going to be in Charlotte. So they already started, with the voting. The voting started already April 24th. And now, it's time for you guys to vote, because it's going to close on May 18th. So if you haven't done so, make sure you please go ahead and start your vote. If you love NASCAR and you watch NASCAR, it's going to be a Hall of Fame as far as in Charlotte. So make sure you go ahead and show your moment as well, too, for NASCAR. All right, everybody, that was the NASCAR moment. Let's bring my man Dano back. Dano, I got to get a drink of water. I got choked up.
Yeah, well, I do want to
I think
say
I'm good
this.
now. I think I'm good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I do want to say this, Rico, man. As a young Hispanic man, I do not care about NASCAR. After seeing you and your journey actually covering these stories, if there's NASCAR actually going on my YouTube TV, I'll actually tune in every once in a while, because I see you, spreading the word and actually covering it. So hey, you converted me.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, there was one guy, Latino también, his name is Ryan Vargas. and he's a young guy as well too, and he won some awards. But thank you, man. I'm glad that you pay attention to that, because that's very important as far as for me and people that love race cars and NASCAR, or people that haven't even got involved in that as well too. So it's a great thing, man. I love NASCAR. I love race cars, man. I love race cars. It's so awesome, so awesome, so awesome.
That's all I can say. I'm still learning about it, so I can't say too much. But I don't want to say the wrong thing. Like, what's a tire again? What's a steering wheel? That's about as much as I know.
Hey, Dano, man, I'm so happy that you're here on the show, man. We got a few more minutes of fame, but hey, time is always flying by fast when we get together, man. And it's so great to actually see what you guys are doing, the Power of Choices. And of course, Jeanette says, yes, love the name Power of Choices. My man Alejandro, what's going on? Esteban, ¿cómo está, papá? ¿Qué hola, chico? And then he said, what's up, brother Rico? He called me Rico Suave. He got to put the no in. They got to know about the no.
No,
They got to know about the no.
No sweat. I mean, he's not wrong if he says that, though, but, for legal purposes.
Exactly. All right. So, Dano, because you have your show, you've been doing it for going on 3 years as well, too. When it comes to some of, how do you handle, and we want people to know about this as well, too, as a talk show host, because this is one of the things that I love talking about, because when you're a talk show host and you have a guest on the show and the guest only give you 1 to 2 like words of an answer, how do you handle that?
Oh, man. When I tell you, it's hard, because usually with most people, I would say like 95% of people, I know how to pull information out of them and have a conversation so that they feel comfortable and they feel good. But you just got to keep digging at it and keep going and asking them questions. Because I have a few guests that have done that. But you just got to keep going, and you got to find and use your creativity to try to pull some information out of them. So it's really about tapping into that creativity. And, that's everything that we do. We're always just going to keep going strong and trying to make everybody feel comfortable enough to really share their story and to find the value in their stories. So that's really the best that I can do. I mean, if they're not willing to share their story and give me more sentences after that, then I've done everything that I could, and I've done my best. So you just got to keep plugging away and helping them see the value in their story.
Hey, Dano, we can't tap out. We'll never tap out, Papa. We'll never tap out, man. It's just we got to keep it going.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, it's Dano, like Bookum Dano. I've never seen Hawaii 50 or 90210, one of those two.
Dano.
It's Dano, like Bookum Dano. So
yeah,
I had people that tell me when somebody says it, you got to correct them. So
yeah.
I appreciate that. And Jacqueline Murphy, I know you're a good friend of hers as well. She does that all the time. Jacqueline, if you're watching, it's Bookum Dano. Well.
Yeah, the dose of Dano. Let's go. I love it, man. Hey, bro, I love everything that you're actually doing as far as for, the world. You're definitely a sparkling gem, man. And of course, I love your background. I love your background as well, too, and the way you have your show. Now, do you also take your show on the road as well?
Yes, I do. So I feature local businesses in my, New Jersey area. So I've done a brewing company that wanted me to go out and shoot their stuff.
Okay.
So where you see the big, huge vats of beer in the back, and I've done like taste testings. So that's been one of them. I've done many that there was a bakery called Creamy's Bakery. They were just starting out. So I went over there, kind of showcased their food. So I've done it at least 6+, 7+ times. So we do go on the road.
Nice. I love it that you actually, are always out and about. That's really good. And I love that too, because it's more of like traveling and getting to know, the local businesses. Of course, so supporting local businesses are awesome, as well too, and just to see what other creative ideas that's out there, in order to be able to, spice up the show, because people just don't know. I mean, people are so used to just being in one area, and it's like, oh man, I didn't know that was even I didn't even know that existed, and you brought that to them of happiness to be able to move forward and help that local business grow and thrive. And they remember that too. They definitely remember that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. And with our shows, since we have a really big following, it's nice to give
Yes.
them their extra flowers and some extra recognition. So hopefully that can turn into more green for them and more cash flow. So everything
Yes.
that we do is with a purpose. So it's great, man. And, we love what we do. It's just the best thing in the world.
Yes, sir. It's always the best thing to be, a talk show host. And also, being a talk show host, it's always great to give out gifts. So I have a shirt. I have a shirt for you. So, you know,
What?
yeah, I got a shirt for you. So this shirt right here, you know, I just want to show
So
you
take
this.
this one off, right?
Hey, I want you to
You want me
show that.
to?
Huh, what's that?
You want me to take this one off so I can hand it to me through the screen? I know this is a PG show, so let me stop. PG-13, but they don't want to see this nastiness anyway.
Hey, they want to see the Papa in you, Papa. They want to see
That's that's what you dose after dark. That's a different show.
a little dose after dark. Hey, I like that, man. Dose after dark. Ooh.
Little dose after dark. What are you trying to say, Rico?
That
Come
hey,
on
big
now.
no, hey, I'm talking about big dose after dark. A dose could be
Big dose. All right.
anything. Hey,
Stay
so
tuned for that.
hey, this shirt, man, this shirt right here that I'm presenting to you, I have to say that you're definitely a gem of the world. You've always been positive wherever that you've done things and wherever you've been, whatever you've done. It's always a great shining light for people like yourself to be able to help people continue to live. And I know, and I've been a witness to this as well too, that people love what you're doing. They're here right now, and I really appreciate them actually coming on. But that positivity posse is basically you're helping grow in that and also saving lives. When you take this first step to be able to get into this industry and to be able to talk to people, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. You have to have the character behind it. You have to have, the battles of technology behind it to be able to know that, hey, it might be a little struggle, but we're going to get through this and we're going to make it happen. Now you're streaming everywhere. Now that's good because now you're spreading the love and also you're actually helping continues to build your market of positivity. So, with this shirt, sir, I have to say, you always part of the Rico No Suave show team, but hey, this just validates it. It's official, baby. Welcome to the team, my man. Welcome to the team.
Hey, man.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it so much. And, I'm just a reflection of you and all the positive things that you talk about. And I know with your journey, it hasn't been easy. But
Yeah.
just to know that we are on that same team and of making that difference and having, purpose-driven content, that's all that we need right there. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the shirt. And I actually have a shirt myself. I have some merchandise. So when I see you in person, we're going to have to do like a jersey swap or something.
Let's do
I'm
it.
doing
Let's
that
do
today.
it.
I don't
I'm
know if
game with
NASCAR
that.
does it. You're going to have to school me on that. But that's going to be a great time, man. So seriously, thank you so much for having me on tonight. I appreciate and I honor that shirt. I can't wait to wear it, man, and break it in to show everybody, yeah, I'm a part of the Rico No Suave team. And again, to everybody watching, please go support Rico and everything that he does. Follow him on his social media pages because he is really a trailblazer in this world. And thank you so much again for everything that you do. And even if that people don't say thank you for what you do on a daily basis. I see you, I recognize you, I honor you, I appreciate you.
Much love, man. And we got to honor you because we got your social media that we want everybody to know about so they can actually continue to follow you. So, of course, we got this first one, which is Dose of Dano. We got to put it out there. You got to get that dose. Follow him. Every time you follow him, he gives you a dose. So make sure you go ahead and follow him on that positivity on Instagram. Excuse me. And here's the next one. Of course, you already know. Come on. Weekly dose of Dano TV, Facebook, baby. So make sure you please go ahead and check him out there. Hey, Dano, when do you actually come on?
So we go live Thursdays at 9 Eastern time, which is 8 Central.
Okay.
And yeah, we go live every Thursday.
Every Thursday. Okay, cool. Hey, they got a dose of it today, and they're going to get a dose of it tomorrow. So why not? Why not? Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, Dano,
let's go. It's great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keep spreading that positivity, man. But thank you so much for actually being on the show today, man. Continue to do everything that you're in your mind and in your heart to be able to continue to help people stay alive and stay positive. All right?
Sounds like a plan with me. Only if you promise to continue too.
I will, always. Hey,
You.
you know I'm here. All right, everybody, put your hands
Oh.
together, my man. Daniel Ecehvarria, tu sabes, Dano. Let's go. Thank you, Papa. See you soon, okay?
See you soon. Thank you again for the opportunity. And to everybody, have a great night. Stay safe and stay blessed.
All right, you too, darling. All right, everybody, we got to get out of here. Your boy Rico no Suave, and yes, I hope you guys were inspired as far as with this today, everybody. I know I was inspired, and hey, it's always great to have another talk show host come up so you guys can see what we do to continue to make you happy. And everybody that actually tuned in today, thank you guys so much. But we got to put up our social media before we get out of here, everybody. And you know, it is our website. Our website, everybody, is www.riconosuaveshow.com. Make sure you go ahead and show some love to our website. We keep you up to date. And then you always can be able to see exactly on the watch and listen as far as who our next guest is. So we'll basically have that flyer out there for you. Here's the next one. It's Instagram. You know, Rico no Suave Show. Go ahead and follow the show there, everybody. We're always posting some great content out there as well, too. So please make sure you go and show you some love there. Here's the next one. Oh, yeah. Facebook, everybody. Don't forget, Rico no Suave Show. Go ahead and like and love everything that we're actually doing there on Facebook. And this is a big one for us as well, too. Here's the next one. The next one is YouTube. That is big. We need all you guys to subscribe to our channel. We're continuously building, so make sure you please go ahead and subscribe to our channel, get notified, and don't forget to comment and watch some of our previous videos as well, too, episodes. All right, here is the last one. Mixcloud.com/Rico no Suave Show. Tu sabe, mi gente, we always have the audio piece there, so make sure you please go ahead and show some love as far as there while you're driving, and go ahead and like it. You can also follow. You can start an account there for free, and then just start following us there. Everybody, we got to get out of here, but thank you guys so much for being here on the Rico no Suave Show, and we'll see you next time as we end off the show just like this.